We are going live.
Well, hopefully, I've noticed that we seem to be live before it says live. There now it says live. So we've been live now. Now we're live. Now we're properly live. So we are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igel over here. And together we make the Mad Scientists.
That's me and her. That's me and her. Me and her. She's the mad scientist. I'm Igor. That's me
I'm
and
the mad one. She's the sensible one.
it's Monday and we're a little bit goofy, I think.
Yeah.
Off I
She's,
go.
she's the one that keeps me on track.
Yeah.
So,
Eddie, hi Colleen. Oh, Eddie, I'm so glad. I hope you can use some of it.
Colleen came in first. Ray, what? You some?
I sent Eddie a Happy Mail package. It's
Oh, lovely.
with goodies, and hopefully he can use some of it. I'd love to see
Super.
what he comes up with. There we go. Okay.
Well, today we are doing the second part of this, which is taking longer than you might think, because last time, I had this side done and this side done. I have now done this side of this one and just sprayed the colour on this side of this one. It's still a little bit damp. I've been trying to dry it, but what I did with the other side, with this, you can see the spots on here. That's just because my sprayer was a bit clogged. But what I've done is put on airbrush medium. What I did was it's half and half. So it's half airbrush medium and half water. And I spray it over and it's given me a lovely surface that doesn't, look, I've got nothing on there. Oh, so a bit did come off. So I sprayed it again, but it's much drier feeling than the other one. This one is so damp. You'd think in this heat it would be drying, but it's so humid that just nothing seems to dry. I put it out in the greenhouse and that seemed to help a bit, but I only thought of it today. So yeah, I'm going to put it out a bit sooner than that. So this side is really wet and I've been going over it even in this heat with my heat gun. It's sacrifices I make for this. You make your sacrifices for your craft. So what I want to do with this is put another layer, put this over this side, down here, so that these two will come together. Yes. So when I put another layer in between, like a piece of this, it will give it more strength, right? So it won't be so bendy. So it will bend like that. You see? Bend like that. And these two will stick together here with a stiffener. So, okay. So I'll do that now while I've got this here. May as well. It doesn't matter that it's got this torn off. It does not matter at all. I'm just going to cut it to the right size. So that will be approximately, I'll probably cut it a little bit wider than it should be. Sort of there. Just to be sure I'm not cutting it too small. I probably will, though.
Yes, headphones are on, right?
Yeah, headphones are on. Oh, where's my thingy?
I'm not hearing any feedback, but...
Are you hearing me now? I didn't have my microphone in front of me. It was up by my ear.
Does that help, Liz? Hi, Liz.
Feel any better?
I mean,
there's a great in the background. That's my fan. I simply can't turn it off. I'm sorry.
You're going to do a refresh, Liz. Try that. There should be no reason for feedback today. And just so you guys know, we talk over each other, but when Fran has the headphones on, she can't hear me. It's like I'm a ghost way off to the side. So
I can hear her when I'm not talking. So if I'm talking and she talks, I'd only hear me. Sorry.
So we tend to overlap talking, and I apologize. We're hanging there. It's technology. Hi, Trish.
Has anybody heard of a oh gosh, what is it called? Let me have a look. There's this thing to do with glue.
Hiya, Evie.
Now I put it in one of my call it, what do you call it? Playlists. Craft stuff, glues and sealers. Here we are. It's a precision glue press. Has anybody heard of that? Has anybody used one? I think it's a pretty something.
Well, I've not heard of it.
But what it does is it's a sort of gun, looks a bit like a heat gun, but it's got a sort of tube holder, and they give you a glue thing of their own glue, and they give you a spare one empty, so you can put your own glue in that, and it's got nice thin tube for
glue gun. That's just
it's not a glue gun, it's for cold glue, right? But it squeezes the bottle so that you get a good stream of glue as you want it to be. And also it's got a silicone sort of thing that you put when you put the glue gun in this the glue bottle in this gun shaped holder, it's got a stand you put it in, and when you put it in the stand, the silicone thing is at the bottom, and that stops any glue from coming out. So you've got it down there where you want it, when you want it, without it coming out in your like me, I put mine that way up in a container like that, and of course it just comes out the bottom, but this stops that. So I wondered whether anybody else had ever come across it or tried it. I've just seen it on a couple of YouTube videos.
Here,
and I thought,
I'll give you a link, Anne. There's a link through that one. It's precision
glue press.
Yeah, I've not heard of it. Now, Liz says many of her card makers seem to like it. Apple, you're working on your knitting. I'm going to show something once we're in the stream a little bit. Let Fran do some stuff. I've been learning this past week. I've been learning sprang, or if you're foreigner, it sounds like sprung. It's a weaving technique that was probably first found back 400 BC. And of course, I like ancient things, vintage and ancient and whatnot. So I've been teaching myself this for the past, I don't know, half dozen days. And I have a something to show you guys.
It's called My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press. Just like, better let you know that I was looking for it. Yes, carry on.
Oh, you've done it, Apple. Oh, Apple knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh,
right. I'm afraid I was a bit rude. I did a rust pilot.
Yeah. You weren't rude. You were just you. It's okay. It's okay. I have thick skin when it comes to you and him. Or I'm getting it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, that's sad, really.
Nah, you guys are fun.
I'm doing it this way round because I need it this way.
Colleen says there's videos on it already. Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw a couple of those videos.
I've only started hearing about it like you. I've only just started hearing about it. So I don't know that it's something that I would use because I don't know. It's another glue product. I get overwhelmed. Let's put it that way. I see things that you have to buy this, that, and the other thing. And the next thing I know, it's like, well, how can we save the planet if we keep telling them to make new plastic products? And there's this inner person that wants to save the planet, leave a small footprint and reuse, recycle, upcycle. And then there's that person that wants new glue guns and paintbrushes.
Yeah. Well, the one that told me what it was about was Rebecca Keppel. But Scraps to Beauty by Zandra, who's one of our people in Makers, she was the one that alerted me to it in the first place, but she did an nearly 2 hour long video, and I couldn't find it looking for it. And I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. So I went looking for the name, Precision Glue Press. That's how I found Rebecca Keppel showing it. But I'm going to watch what Zandra's doing with it later when I've got a moment. So I just wondered, it was just anybody else heard of this?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you use it for. Now, Colleen says she's a card maker and she wouldn't want it. Glitter glue with a fine tip is the best in her opinion.
Yeah, well, it has fine tips, you see, but
Yeah,
it just makes it easy to flow because it's stored like that in this press thing,
yeah.
and it's got very thin tips. You got to set some tips to go with it, I think, as well.
And to change the subject, Apple says she's retired now, but she was an art therapist, and her practice was called Fully Woven. She's weaving obsessed. Yeah, I
Oh,
love Apple. I love textiles. I love fiber art, and I'm not very good at it. I don't have all the products I would love to have to do more fiber art, nor do I have any place to keep it. But I love fiber art, and I certainly love learning new techniques like crochet, tatting, knitting, weaving. I've done all that, and now I found spraying and nail binding. And I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I love the more ancient type arts that they seem to be dying out, that machines have taken over, and I like doing the more hand stuff, like the spraying. I'm truly enjoying this. I took it apart, I don't know how many times, and my husband said, "Well, that's usual for you," you know, but I'm now at the end of the piece I've been working on, and I'm trying to decide which way to finish it. Love that brand. That's just beautiful.
there we are. We now have a front and back for this journal, right? And it's not looking too awful that side either. I may put something over it. Just need to snip.
Apple, thank you so much for knowing what I was talking about. Mm, yeah.
Apple. I've got a feeling I've heard of your shop or
Apple O'Day.
yeah. I've
Yep.
got a feeling I've heard of the shop, not her name, the shop name.
Fully
Got a feeling
woven.
woven. I'm sure I've heard of that before or something very like it.
She
I
said
wondered
her
was
practice
she
is called Fully Woven. I don't know if it was a shop or a art therapy place. Trish, I missed something. Art therapy. Oh, art therapy is what Evie does with Tommy. Yes, yes. And he is. Look how well he's just blasted off with that like a rocket. When he does, if I didn't have to worry about bills and dishes and cooking and cleaning and all that, there'd be more in my brain that would, what's the word? Create design and yeah, there'd be more space in my head for the other stuff, the good stuff.
you mean you'd have more design pathways?
I
Yeah.
want more thinking process room to creative process. Yes, the creative process. Thank you, Colleen. I'll check that out.
Right. Well, I can't find any ink. Sorry, water. I had a spray of water, but I think I've taken it upstairs for spraying me when hot at night. So I don't know what I've done with the ordinary ones.
And Fran, Apple has a message. He says, I've sent you emails from my Fully Woven account. Maybe that's where you know the name.
Oh, could be. Yes. I thought it sounded
Wow.
familiar. Well, you can see that it's still not quite dry on those one that was just done. So that'll need some spraying with this airbrush medium. It does help. I've used it before many times. So, but you've got to make sure you've got a proper layer, a full layer. So I do it a few times to make sure. And then you can do what you like on the top without getting quite so green. So these are some pieces I have had lying about for a long time.
Beautiful.
They were just I can't show you what they were because I've now sprayed all of them. So I've got a whole load over here, different colours, well, similar colours rather, slightly different here and there. So I can use these pieces. These are just I got one of those deep dyes. What do you call them? Biggs dyes from Tim Holtz.
Yeah.
And I cut loads of these out with after I put the dictionary paper over the top of some grey brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Board. Cardboard.
These are lying about. I thought, oh, they'd be good. I can build something up with them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build something up with them on the cover. But
Great.
I've also, so I've got all these
And
off
these are
here.
all done with the sprays, right?
But yeah, these were done with the same spray, so I'm going to have to seal these as well. But I also did one of the metal pieces. That's come out really rather nice. I'm going to soak up that extra bit in the corner there. I think that's just a little bit too much.
Couldn't you turn it over and press it down on the white paper and dauber some off? Or would that take
Well,
too much off?
it might take too much off. I wanted to dry
Ah,
like that. Quite
yeah.
nice colour, don't you think? This is a slightly different colour from these, a colour range. Now, the original ones, these ones were Twisted Citron, of which I've got so little left, I'm going to have to buy some more soon. And I think it was the Uncharted Mariner for the really dark bits, like here. And possibly, and it was Peacock Feathers, the other one. Peacock Feathers. And possibly
Mariah, I have to
Sulfur.
tell you, Fran, I know you missed Mariah's stream this morning. I know you had so much going on, but you need to go watch it.
Okay.
Mariah did some spraying on gel prints this morning, and
Mhm.
wow, oh wow,
Yeah,
wow,
got to
wow,
go look. So these ones were this lot,
wow.
these two blues and, well, three blues actually, and
Okay.
the Twisted Citron. The Peacock Feathers is sort of a teal, so that was some of these. And then the others had also something like broken china, squeezed lemon, but I also used the Twisted Citron on there as well.
So you have the
And
distress and the
shaded
oxide.
lemon.
Okay.
No, it didn't mean the oxide one. It was the
Uh,
other one.
okay.
There we are, squeezed lemonade. So it was the spray stains I used on them. Uh, plus a little bit of the Uncharted Mariner. I think I added little bits of these as well. So we've still got some of the Twisted Citron. I don't seem to have any other green that does quite that job that does. But so you can see that this one's got a little bit of the lilac on it in that corner.
Bottom, yeah.
And this one here.
Earworm. Thank you, Eddie.
But I also did these pieces here so that I've got some other inserts or cards or whatever that I can use.
You know, I went shopping, wish listing for distress inks, and the colors that I want, I'd have to buy individually, which cost a little bit more than if you buy a set. And I'm like, this is
Really?
so ridiculous. So
Distress.
the sprays.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know they came in sets. I thought you could only get them individually. I can only get them individually.
no, I think
The only set I can get is one with all the different products in that colour.
right. You get a set of blues, get a set of greens, you get a set of, or you get the neutral colors. So I
So you
decided
get all
that
different things in the same colour, yeah.
I've
And
just
I've only done that a couple of times.
uh-uh.
Sorry.
No, they were all sprays. I'm sure I looked at them.
Huh. As I've got Lindy's in sort of 4 or 5 sprays, 5 sprays packets, but I've not been able to get distress sprays. I can get the little ones, the ones that are sort of metallic sprays, like the Halloween. You can get 3 in, or is it 4 in a pack of the Halloween set, which are the sprays with the mica. They're the mica sprays in distress, but I've not been able to get these, like a spray stain set. Lucky you.
Well, and what I was saying is that you can get them individually or in sets. Like this is a set of 3 that includes antique linen, tea dye, and walnut stain. They're
You need to
typical.
bring the screen up. I can't see.
No, I know you can't see, and I can't show you because it's on
Oh.
screen. And then there's another set, and these are Tim Holtz I'm looking at. So there's another set that is um, the limited edition mica stain sprays, and there's 3 bottles, 3 different colors in a set. But I don't necessarily want all those 3 colors. I just want the one, and I want that one and that one from the different sets. But I either have to buy them individually or buy the set for the ones I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I've decided that, okay, I'll get off the fence. I've decided I'll just go ahead and buy a set and then build my stash, my spray stash that way. It may be colors that I not necessarily want, but you know what? I've learned from watching you that you'll pull up a color that you don't usually use that, and next thing you know, you're in love with it.
Yeah, that's the trouble. That's the
Yeah.
problem with dress. You think, I'm not going to like bundled sage. It turns out to be a magic spray.
Right? Yeah, the individuals, Eddie, the prices just seem, and I understand it's a business. I'm not complaining, but my wallet has to go a certain way. Um, and I don't want generic sprays because I already know I'm not going to be happy with them. The color will not last, or it won't be the color I want. I'm sure I want sprays that I trust, that I've seen work for other people.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
like I said,
Yeah, I've bought a vast amount of sprays over the time, and I found that some sprays do a different job to others. So something like the Cadence is a really strong, good coverage one, which I did not expect, but it really was a lovely coverage. And something like the Fashion Spray Marabou is also a pretty good one. Something like the Cosmic Shimmer Mist looks great, and it goes on, and then you think it's a bit duller than I'd hoped for. I find those not
right.
quite
And then
great.
it fades over time too. You have to watch it. It
Yeah.
fades over time. So I want something that's going to last a little, even though it's only for me. I'm not selling
Yeah.
anything. Um,
The ones I find last best are the acrylic sprays. Any acrylic sprays, because once acrylic is dry, it's like acrylic paint. It's dry. It's a plastic sheet then,
that's good
so
to
it's
know.
not going to come off. Like the Deco Art Media. Those sprays are great, but there's only a very limited amount of them. There's only about sort of 10 or 11 colors.
Yeah.
But they are lovely colours. They've got some great ones. The other ones I like are the Seth Apter ones, but those are dye sprays. So again, sometimes I feel I've got to seal those in with something like, I don't know, a spray sealer, like you'd like. I've got some down here somewhere.
Eddie, I'm like
Yes.
you. I'm Amazon spoiled because I like the no limit free shipping. In other words, I don't have to spend $75 to get free shipping. So I'm Amazon spoiled. There you go, the matte spray. I've
Like
seen
matte spray.
somebody.
That one's a bit old, so it's
Yeah,
to put those thing out. But you can also get it in other types, like this Balfix has been well lauded. People like that because it's a matte spray. It's difficult to get a decent matte spray, but that Balfix one is popular. But you can get it in Craylon and all sorts. I can even get it in Winsor and Newton ones. So it's amazing what you can get. Anyway,
yeah.
this is looking quite nice. I'm liking that. Because it dripped a little bit, and I like that. It's a different look
Yep.
to something that's more complete. Like,
Well, you didn't do the embossing on it first. That,
no, this is just an insert one, so it would be for a pocket or something. And I've
yeah.
yet to do the other side, of course. But the thing I want to do now is with this. So I'll take all these away again, because some of those have been sealed, and some, like that one, are looking really good, but they've not been sealed yet.
So if anybody's just popped in and they're wondering what she's up to, she's been making a journal, and these are all bits and pieces and signatures and covers and whatnot to go for this other
Yeah.
journal. Not her botanical journal. That's a whole other. stream.
Yeah, that's still doing its. I'm still working in that one on and off, but that's a different theme, a different look altogether. This is one of the two journals. So I've got a grungy one, and this is the least grungy one. I dare say you may think it's a bit grungy anyway, but it's going to be a little bit more curlicues and things like this has sort of got that sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
A little bit more nice shapes, you know?
Kind of like scroll work.
Scroll work, yeah, that kind of thing. So I'm going to take all these away. That's the center of the clock piece one. This was for a clock, this. You can see that that's the center piece out of it, and that's the edge. You might as well use the edge. Why not?
Well, that's why I said don't throw anything away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to use both bits. I can cut it there where it's weak and put one piece underneath. So you can see where these little things came out. Okay. And then I painted them a different color. So we've got a lilac-y look there, and we've got a green look there. Lovely, lovely. So let's get all these out of the way. And that's escutcheon for your lock, or a lock plate, key plate, whatever they call it. And there's a lovely big key.
Eddie on Shark Tank down the road, because Eddie's going to create his own line of craft paint colors, and then he's going to go on Shark Tank to get backers. Yeah.
Right. So we've got all those options there, and we've got these pieces here, which have dried quite nicely. And I want to try and get some blues and greens in here. Don't think I'm going to use those sprays. If I'm going to use anything, I will use some Seth Apter possibly, and perhaps some of the Prima sprays, because this has already been painted with acrylic paint. So acrylic would go quite well on it, or even just painting with acrylic paint, you know, just doing
So let me interrupt that. I can't remember who got it, but I sent this to either Eddie. I sent a piece like that to either Eddie or Trish. I don't remember which one of you got it. But
a piece like what?
Like what you just put aside.
That. Yeah. Yep, I love using that. It's from a I think it's Crafters Workshop.
Crafter, I don't know.
Mold, but yeah. And I also want to work on this. And you can see this is what I was stamping while the live was on Sunday, on the Sunday live. I was stampy. So I then spattered it with some spray, or even just picked it up off the overflow on the sheet, you see. I now want to go over these and cut some out and do some other things with them, particularly the paler ones, because I think that's going to show up nicer. So I've got no idea what I'll be doing, so I'll probably make a complete hash of this, but it's always worth having a go. Have I got a paintbrushy one over there? I should have. I've got some on order because the ones I've been using have withered away to not much left in the tube. What's that one? Oh no, that's too big. Wait a minute. 2.4 free size. I might. So I can do some
embellishing, highlighting. So here's a comment for you. Colleen says, I really like in all of the parts and pieces you're showing us, and you sound like you have a definite plan in mind.
Well, I've got a vague plan in mind. I wouldn't say a definite plan. Yes, I've got a vague idea. I want these pieces, these curlicues and so forth, I want to go on the front cover somewhere, right? And some of these pieces like this are meant for separators inside. So there'll be different, or perhaps for a pocket, I may be folding it over and turning it into a pocket on a page. And don't forget, I did another page, didn't I? What did I do with that one? It's around here somewhere. I've got these other pieces. I've got other pages that have been done, or other pieces that have been done before that I thought would go with the colour of this, because I know the sort of colour range I want. This sort of blues, greens, purples, that sort of range. And I did have. No, it's not there. I'll have to find it later. It's no, can't find it. But yeah, I've got some idea of what I'm doing. As I say, I haven't got a complete idea.
Well, Evie, if you want to use the distress mica sprays on your gel plate, I would suggest Texture Junkies Sharon, quite some time ago. It may have been last year. She did a number of videos where she had a small gel plate, not one of the large ones, but the smaller one, where she did sprays and inks on them, and it will discolor your plate, but it won't ruin it. It just discolors it.
Yes,
It'll
it won't come off on other things later. In other
Yeah,
words,
there's
you'll
that.
see it on the plate, but that's all.
But she has some wowie streams showing sprays on a gel plate. So would anybody like to see my spraying project right now?
Yes, please.
Do you want to see it?
I'm going to cut this one out while you're doing that.
It's so big. I've gotta make sure my tea doesn't fall over, and let me get my camera set up. I don't know if I've Okay, I'm gonna show you. Friend's gonna oh, that's not very good, is it? Hold on, everybody. Don't hold on. Bear with me. Don't fall.
She's coming. She's coming.
I wanna upright it. Okay, it's big. I said it was big. See how big it is?
I'm not saying what I said before.
Behave yourself, friend.
See how big it is? This is a cross stitch frame that belonged to my husband. He did cross stitch before I met him. He's got some beautiful projects y'all would be blown away by. So this is spraying, and it's a weaving technique, and I hope I explained this correctly, but it's not weaving, it's twisting and linking. So it's not even weaving. Weaving is not correct. But what it does is it creates a product that stretches like this. And it was first, the farthest back they can go to where they found objects made this way was in 400 BC. That's old, you think? And they made and of course they didn't use yarn. They didn't have yarn then. They used fibers like from plants and leaves and what. And I love it. It's just it's wonderful to play with. But you only have to do you work from the top, and whatever row you're working on, whatever you do up here is shows up down here. Hence the reason for the stick. This is from this one down is the bottom, from this stick up is the top. So I work on the top, and while I'm working on the top, the bottom is being created. Yes, you can. There are patterns where they've made tunics, shirts, and hats and sweaters, and you can make it as big as you want, whatever size frame you have, or stitch it together. This is where the top and bottom have met, and now I'm trying to decide how I want to close that, because you have to close that up so all these don't come unraveled. And right now I've done it in crochet with a crochet, but I'm not sure I like the way that looks, and maybe Apple can suggest an easier, better way. I'm loving it, but I went and found some freeform spraying which means I don't have to follow a pattern. I could do whatever I want. And that part I love. So that's just from this weekend what I've been working on. Fun stuff. Okay. And back to you. Like I said, I love fiber art. I just textiles. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person. Since I set this up Thursday. Was it Thursday, honey, or Friday?
What?
This frame.
I don't know.
Thursday or Friday.
Somewhere in there.
Heck, it may have been Saturday morning that I started on it because I asked him to create me a frame out of PVC pipe that we have laying around. And before I went to bed that night, I went, wait a minute, I don't need you to do that. I'm going to take your cross stitch frame if you don't mind. And he said, nope, have at it. So I used the cross stitch frame. And I used gray. This was just a practice piece. I'm gonna do another one with different color yarns so the pattern can be seen better. Oh my gosh, Fran, fussy cutting. I hate.
No, it's not quite fussy cutting. I'm just cutting around it. It's just. And using my scissors that I only have to push on. I don't have to stick my fingers through a little hole. Just don't have to stick my thumb through a little hole.
It's not weaving though. I don't want to say it's weaving because it's not even the same. There's no warp and weft. There's just twisting the strings. And I actually saw a video where a woman used strips of denim, cut denim, like jeans, and cut strips and wove them like that. And she covered a little jar. Just beautiful. I love that.
Sounds like weaving though.
It isn't though. It's not. In weaving, there's a weft and a warp, one way and the other. And
What is it then if it's not weaving?
it's just interlacing and interlocking and interlinking the threads. There's no weaving involved. In weaving, you have your, I'm going to say it backwards, I'm sure. You have your warp threads, which go vertical. And then you bring in a weft thread. No, maybe it's backwards. You figure it out. But spraying is more like braiding. Thank you, Apple. It's more like braiding because it's twisting.
Right.
Braiding. Yes. It's not weaving. It just seems if you said that to a spraying artist, they may feel insulted because it's not weaving. It's a whole other thing. And I was just sitting here. It's so meditative.
It's quite meditative doing this.
Yes, it is.
Let me chop off a toe.
Except for the crazy woman talking in the background.
So I just want it separated a little bit. There you go. So all I want to do now is just put a little more definition in. So I picked these colors because I know it's going to show up on these, like it showed up on this one, but I doubt if it would show up on that. I mean, can you see? No.
Yeah. And the thing with macrame is like crochet and knit. It's loops and knots. Macrame is more knots. So if you were a sailor or a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout and you learned knots, there's macrame to me, in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. So it's not the same. To me, it's not even the same. You can look at it and it's not even close to the same. It looks close to weaving. It looks like weaving, but it's not even. It's just like Apple said. It's more like braiding. So yes, the warp is stationary, and the weft comes in and woof comes in and weaves in and out, and that's not even like what this is. Yes, If you let go, absolutely, Apple. Hence the reason for the sticks. If I remove those sticks, everything could come undone.
So what happens when you finished it? How do you keep it together?
I
Not.
showed you the crochet hook, so that's locking the final stitches. So that'll lock the middle. And then when I take it off there's an upper and lower stick. Let's see if I can bring you back up and show you. I moved my camera. I moved my camera. Yeah, so let's put it back. Um, so you could see, I want my face in there. You could see there's a stick up here. It's actually hanging from the top. This is
Uh-huh.
this is holding the tops together. It's repeated down here. This is hanging. There's a thread in between to keep two sticks to keep this lower stick and this upper stick together.
To keep it taut. I see.
And it doesn't have to be too taut. You want to be able to work your fingers in there, so you don't want it too taut. But when I take this stick, and this is a knitting needle because I ran out of sticks. When I take these two out and this stick out, if the crochet hadn't been in there, all of this would come undone. Ask me how I know.
Oh, is that how?
But now that it's crocheted and with the hook in there to lock it, it's not going to go anywhere. I could remove these sticks and the needles and it would be okay. But when I go to remove this one and the one at the top, I need to run a thread in there or crochet that closed, or it will unravel from there.
Uh-huh.
How do I know, Apple? Well, like I said, if I started this Saturday morning and I undid it like 4 times, there's reason I had to undo it and start over. It's because I went, oops, missed a stitch or twisted a stitch wrong, or I forgot to put the stick in and I pulled my hand out and it all came undone. So lesson learned. But it's not at all. If you thought of macrame, you would see loops, you would see knots and bumps and whatnot. This is just a stretchy type of plaiting or braiding.
So what are you going to turn it into when it's finished? You
This
think we're going to be part of something else, or is it something in itself?
this is I could do whatever I want. I'm a big girl.
I just wondered what you had planned.
Should've told me.
Or you might have got no plan whatsoever.
Have a plan because I started out making a small hoop frame and I was going to work on a small scale. And then I went, no, if you're going to do it to where you can, not where you could do it big, at least this big. So my idea for this is it will fold right here. This will be the base.
Right.
I will bring the bottom part up, stitch the sides up, and it will be a bag. I will put a string in the top area that you could pull it to close it like I can't think of it, but words are hard. But a bag, it'll be a sack. Or
Right.
I could use it to make a hair net, like in
Uh-huh.
the medieval days.
You can turn a corner. You could turn it into a pair of socks. Sorry.
Yes, I could.
But you're not going to.
A 60s inspired. You know what, Apple? I didn't even wear the 60s inspired mini skirts when they were out. I was more of a jeans and dirt and grass girl. I wasn't a mini skirt and go-go boots. They were cool, but that wasn't me.
Uh-huh.
Pull it out, Apple. Play around with it. It would be a scarf if you the patterns are by the holes. So the majority of the pattern is small holes like this one. Where you see the big holes, I deliberately followed a different pattern to get them. So there's so many ways to go. There's so many. This is what you get for talking to me, people. I'll tell you. I'll answer you. And then Fran will just go off and have a cup of tea and just sit and watch me and not get anything done. It's Fran's stream, not mine.
No, it's our stream. After all, I couldn't manage without you, so fair's fair.
Colleen, I don't know if she's seen it or not. This is the first I've shown it or talked about it. And I know she used to do cosplay, and I never thought about it. Now that you've said that, I never thought about it. Like I said, it's just gray yarn I happen to have sitting up here on my desk for whatever reason. I have so much yarn downstairs, so I have more colors to deal with. And I will finish this one, and I will pull out the next one, what I want to do. And at this point, I don't care if it gets turned into a hat or a scarf or a mini skirt. I don't care. It'll be swatches that I could stitch together and make abstract art with. It's GE for me, good enough for me. Just to be able to do it. I'm happy with that.
Right, so we've got some birdies. That's beginning of ephemera. And we've got a page, which I think is going to be too big. What did I do with the
drawing? Your camera. Your camera went off. There you go. And Eddie says, I bet Fran wore go-go boots.
Well, I had some purple boots at one point. Really rather snazzy. I got them in a market in Maastricht in Holland.
Good idea.
And I was very Now I can't muck about with this too much because it is not dry.
It's
but we can use it as a, is this going to be big enough thing?
Well, if you cut off the framework, I think it'll be exactly what you want.
Yeah, well, there's the option to do that.
Yeah.
But yes, I will need to do that because that is the size of the piece and it is a little long. I mean, I'm only folding it there, but it's right up to the spine. So yeah, that will need to be snipped around there. So it will be shorter than that. And the idea is I'm going to use things like this on the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will be inside because that's
Miriam, I hope you feel better soon, and thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
In which case, if it's the other way round, it will be.
I like that for the outside.
Like that. And that will be the outside, and this will be the inside. So either way, I'm either going to have a pocket at the front or a pocket at the back, and possibly two, but I got to put this down. It's just so gooey.
Yeah, it's wet. You need to quit fiddling with it.
Yes, Mummy.
Oh my gosh. I saw the picture of you sitting in the chair with your friends at the park.
Oh, yeah.
and Trish sent me the picture. She says, is that one Fran? And I said, Fran is the colorful one. She said, is her hair purple? I said, yep, it's rainbow. Just like Trish. Did Trish do it this time?
Did it, yes.
Yeah, I thought so. You look like twins in the picture.
Yeah, she's always got colourful hair, but she hasn't gone quite as rainbow as me. But then she could, because she knows how to do it. She did mine, after all.
I just think it's amazing that your husband actually colors your hair for you.
Yeah, but not in rainbow. He's not up to rainbow. He's not au fait with rainbow at the moment. You just have to learn, because I like it too much to give it up now.
Yeah, it just needs more practice.
Yeah. So putting these 2 pieces of tissue onto this card last time has just given it that bit more
Texture,
stability.
stability.
Now I've cut off some of that there, little tiny bit, but not to worry, it's not much. Might be able to cut a bit more off, but
You know, they were doing a napkin swap in Makers, and I was just wondering off the top of my head that because I have some beautiful paper napkins, or I think they're beautiful. They're Dollar Tree mostly, but I like them. But I was just wondering, I separate the ply of my paper napkins, and I was just wondering if you could like use your white, the ply, the back part of a napkin, and do it like tissue paper, spray it, paint it, whatever, do work on it, and then use that as part of the swap, or does it have to be the part that's pre-printed by the manufacturer when you guys do the swaps? Who could answer that for me? Colleen?
I think it depends on what you've got. I would have imagined, but I'm not doing swaps.
So either way, right, Mariah? I just thought it was cool because I tend to save those back pieces for whatever reason, to blow my nose or to paint on, whatever comes first.
Yeah.
Cool, Colleen. I'd like to see some of what you stamp on it. I'd like to see some painted ones. Maxine, aha.
Now these are going to be uneven when they're put together as pages, but I don't care. I like the different shapes and sizes. Now that's going to give me a nice little piece to put on something else. I go over it. In fact, I can fish out the original stencil, which was one of Paula's. It's the rune blocks. And I can use that as a belly band if I stamp a bit more on. Lovely. I wish they'd do that in a stamp. I would love that in a stamp. Oh.
I agree. Apple says those birds look great on that stony background. I agree. That's the stained glass.
Well, that's just showing you what you could do, because I doubt very much I'd use all of them. I'd probably use one on that page. So something like, don't know, maybe. Depends. I mean, I'm just saying that that's what you can do. You know, that would show up quite nicely on that one. And perhaps, anything would show up on there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It depends what else I can get as ephemera, what else I can
Pilot.
turn into ephemera. I was thinking something like that might work quite well as well. I mean, you could always put something else on that, like that. I like that.
I actually use the napkins, Colleen, to burnish down onto polymer clay to make bookmarks and bake them in. They left the ink. They left the ink. It was beautiful.
See, I've only got a few things as at the moment, so I'm going to have to collect up lots more things to turn into ephemera. I mean, you can use things like napkins that have got the right colour, and I've got one somewhere. I don't think it's in here. I think I put it someplace else. That's got some lovely colour on it. I think it's up here somewhere. No. But there's also, don't forget this, I can do lots more of these sort of things with different different shape dies. I can do loads of them. Well, that one's got some colour, look. Whoa, that one's got quite a bit of colour. But there's one with a whole load more colour.
I'm really surprised, given it's birds and whatnot, that you didn't do something with Duck Pilot, because he's a bird. He's a fowl.
Yeah, you never know, I might. This has got 2 layers, this tissue, so I can get 2 out of this. This is kitchen roll, so I can get 2 out of this.
Mariah says, put down texture paste or whatever, and then collage the napkin over it. Am I behind? I have to look over here. There we go. Yeah.
I don't actually work very much with napkins. Don't do a lot with it. But I could cut something out of that. Or tear a piece. Where's that doodah gone? There we are. So I could do something like...
See, you and Mariah and P, you do this so easily. For me, it's like, it's when you tear something like that, you can't undo it. And everything you've done is one of a kind. So it's like, I get.
What if I don't use it for this? I can use it for something else, you see?
I like that little cluster right there. That I like that.
What you're turning it into, you see?
A little
You're
cluster.
making it a little cluster.
Yeah,
That looks quite good as well.
It might be.
But I'm going to have a fair few pages in here, so that's not the only ones it could go on. You know, I mean, you can mix and match with different bits, but I've got to get myself lots and lots more pieces to go with it. So I shall be spending a fair bit of time making more ephemera on this project, I think, both for this and for the other.
I know, Mariah.
The other one.
I'm a work in progress.
So.
Yes, ma'am.
Can use some of these with it.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, nice. Look at all the goodies you're hoarding over there.
Use that.
Ooh.
Cut a piece like that and put it on something else.
Too bad you couldn't just fussy cut the ruins.
What ruins?
The ruins.
Oh, you mean the runes?
The ruins. What did I say?
You said ruins.
Oh, I'm American.
Come on. And I've got this lovely piece like this. I love this. This is.
Where's Kirsten?
Excellent.
We need Kirsten to come visit and talk to us. I love her accent. That's what I said, Eddie. Ruin.
Put that out there.
That's me, Eddie.
And I'm going to cut these white pieces out because they're there, so I can cut them out.
So Miriam says she's Israeli, and for me, they are runners. Runners or ruiners? Runners, or it looks like runners over here in America, Miriam, but you might be meaning ruiners. I'm going to butcher everybody's language today. Like I said, where's Kirsten? She's got that beautiful Scottish accent.
Dwarvish runes, maybe. Runes of Khazad Doom.
There you go. Ruins. Ruins. Say it
well,
again.
what do you call a ruin then?
A what?
If you call a rune a ruin, what do you call a ruin?
Well, you wrote it.
I'm rotten,
Nice.
Yeah, we know that, honey. We're not. Well, thank you for sharing that, though. It's root. Don't you know? It's been root.
I thought it was route.
And then when you look at me and you see how short I am, you go, oh, she's a runt. And then you have that one.
We say we're using a router in order to carve a line into a piece of wood.
Exactly.
Carve a van. But we say we're going on this route. So when we're driving. So, yeah, who knows what? I don't know.
Yep. And we're driving right through the trough with the bow at our back.
Right. I think the bow should be at the front.
You said what in?
Fairly sure about that one.
I honestly, and Russ will back me up on this, I honestly love the British language. I mean, I think we've we've so slanged it up over here.
No.
But I love the British speaking.
You know, when I was a kid, I watched cowboy films all the time, so I was always going round in an American accent. Always. That's why I wear hats. I swear, it's because I like cowboy hats.
Oh, now this is see, there's a bit of trivia we all got to remember. Fran loved cowboys.
Yeah. Now then, so I've cut that. So now I've got a piece that I can put on there like that. Isn't that lovely? So it's just little things. It doesn't have to be anything particularly special or shaped in a particular way. You could put that, mount that on a piece of card and turn it into a pocket, but it's just as nice, just as a decorative piece on something. Now, what else have I got over here? Well, I've got this, which I want to use on this.
Okay,
Question
Trish,
is,
you take
how
care.
am I
You
going
get
to
some
use
rest,
it?
woman. You get some good rest and
I-
take care.
Not like this side, so that's going to be stuck to something. But I love this side. This is great. I think this is the back. When I was doing some cards and I was spraying on one side and then turning them over to spray on the other side, I turned them over when they were still wet and put them on here.
Okay,
So I
Mara.
got print, which is brill. Absolutely brill. And I love that. That's really nice. And I somehow want to use these either in conjunction on, not conjunction, in separately on different pages facing each other or in conjunction together. And I think they might look nice on top of that. So let's cut some of these up. Let's cut some of the little ones, the scraggy ones, so I can do things with them as I did with that. Do that kind of thing. And you can always go around the edge. You know how people are using walnut ink or something to go around the edges of things like this and to put a grunge or edge on things, you know, an aged edge.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be aged. You can use any color you like. You can use a blue that would go with that. So just find let me find one. I've got some right over here. I'll just have to stretch a bit. Hang on. Would I reach that one or not? Could use that one. But I've got oxide there. What's underneath?
I have a friend who lives in Utah, and born and raised, and I never noticed an unusual dialect from her when we talked on Zoom.
That's a little bit too dark, those ones. Don't want to be too dark.
So you guys are hearing extraneous noise there. Fran has a fan on, and when it hits the mic on or the mic on the Kindle, that's what you're hearing. It's not feedback. It's wind blowing into the microphone.
I'm sorry, I can't turn it off. It's way too hot here for that.
Yeah.
Now I do need something to get this a bit more. I've got thingies with you know, a handle with a sponge on the end, whatever they call them, daubers, but I don't have it right now. So I'm just using this like this. There we are. So creating an edge for it. Doesn't have to be a special implement. You can use a tissue.
The hardest language or the hardest dialect I had to work out as a transcriptionist, I transcribed medical notes from Emory Hospital in Louisiana, and the Creole, the accent, holy moly! I was the only one in the company that could work on their transcription because I was the only one. I was the only one who understood them the best. Not 100%, but I got more of their speaking correct than anybody else in the country or in the company that I worked for. It was so thick Creole and French and whatever dialect that is. Oh yeah, very rough. And doctors do not speak or enunciate correctly, which anyone who's done transcription already knows. So it was a battle for me, but it was I
Sounds like a
it.
battle for everybody.
What?
Sounds like it was a battle for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no one else in the company wanted to do the transcription because it was such a struggle. And for me, I looked at it as a learning experience. I thought if I can do this, if I can translate them, then I've got one under my belt. And what else can I do? It was just a
Yeah.
challenge for me. It wasn't a difficult one. I mean, not that I didn't get frustrated at times, but
And then she got beat down by Dr. Rob.
yeah,
Hey, what do you say? I missed that. Go on.
I
What do you
got
say?
beat down. Is that what you said?
Yep, by Dr. Rob.
He remembers better than me because he sat here with me. There was a doctor who just
Sounded like he's trying to transcribe with his phone out the window.
yeah, there was one doctor who would dictate into a recorder, and I swear he was in his car on a stormy day with the window down, and he was hanging his head in the recorder out the window, beeping the horn while he was dictating all this because I picked up everything, and it was like he hated me. It was like he really hated me.
Man.
But I
So,
did. I again, I looked at it as nope, I'm going to win. It's a challenge, but I'm going to win.
that might be okay, the oxide. I'm not sure. Let me see what else I've got over here. Got
Interesting.
did I
Yeah,
know?
the Cajun with the French and the swamp slang. It's it's unbelievable.
Venus
And you got
birds, Mike.
her who
Sorry,
doesn't want to say hepatosplenomegaly correctly.
not used that.
Irish is beautiful, but holy cow, Eddie, go spend a stream with Kirsten. She came
That's a good one to try.
a little play group that Fran and I had with Trish and Evie, and Kirsten was there. I love her voice.
That's a good
Just a
one.
beautiful person.
No, those are too dark. Dusty Concord might.
You know,
We've got the other
I have little
ones.
little ones of
Too
these
strong though.
to dig out and play with.
I think a little bit of this might work. We'll try it anyway. See what it looks like.
Dairy Girls. He likes the Dairy Girls.
Just to kind of bind the edge with the rest of it. So you still get the little wispy bits, but you've made it into a complete thing, not just something with a few bits and a load of white.
Yeah.
You've encapsulated the white and given it, made it part of the whole thing. That's what this edge does. And you could go back to a bit of this.
Okay, Miriam, you get some rest. Thank you for being
Give white a little bit less of a whiteness.
just to tone it back a little bit, right?
Yeah, just to make it a bit less stark.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got traces of green in here anyway, so it's not going against it. So there you go. You've got something that goes in quite nicely with the range of colours we're using anyway.
You know, if it were me, I'd be sticking my finger in there and rubbing it on instead of the tissue. That's just
Yeah, but then you're going to get that colour on everything else as well. So I'm not sure. And I want to try a bit of the weathered wood because it's a darker colour. But it's a paler colour in a sense.
Mariah posted a link to a site talking about language and stuff. She posted a link to a YouTube page for us to check out. So I copied it and sent it to you in Messenger because I know you won't come back and see chat. So you have to check it out.
But when I come back, it's not there. It takes so long to turn up that I get frustrated.
Yep. And I'm gonna put a disclaimer in here because I know I nag at you to get over to see your comments after the show and try to respond.
I did go over and have a look at those, but I couldn't see any new ones. Maybe I'm not looking in the right way. I don't know.
Dashboard. Go to your dashboard and you'll get.
Yeah, that's what I went. And then I went to comments. And that usually shows the latest comments, but I'd already dealt with those.
Okay. Well,
there was only one there that I hadn't. I saw.
Carrie did a video the other day, and I totally understand it from his point of view that it's overwhelming sometimes to try to keep up with all that aspect of streaming and whatnot. And
yeah, I was watching that today.
Yeah,
I think that's something today.
He kind of said that really get to know that we've seen the comments, but unless there's a direct question or inquiry there, that you may not respond to them. He may not respond to them, but don't think he hasn't seen them. And I'd say the same for Fran. Things get so hectic for her sometimes that her life isn't a routine type thing, because especially with the beam and the kitchen and the kids and whatnot.
Yeah, stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. So don't see your comments if she doesn't respond to them. She does. She tries to get over there and see all of them. But really
sometimes I don't know what to say. Like somebody says, "Hello, Fran." Well, I can say hello. What if somebody says, "Hello," somebody else's name, not yours or mine, and I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
Do I say hello to that? Do I remind them that only I see these comments? And other people who watch the replay see the comment? I don't know.
And don't think well, then what's the point of leaving the comment? We love the comments. We want the comments. The comments help the channel grow too.
Yeah, that's great. I don't mind that. It's just I'm not always sure what to say. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Fran doesn't always get to see them. I do my best to get over there and see them too, but answering all of them it's just overwhelming sometimes. You guys are wonderful, but it's overwhelming sometimes because we're doing so many things to keep the stream going. And the bottom line is there's only so much energy.
I would like to see in the comments if anybody has any ideas of things they would like to see us do. That sort of thing would be great. Yeah. If they want me to change the way I do things, or to concentrate on a particular thing, something that I can do. Not don't ask me to film motorcycles, because that's not going to happen. But if it's something on the lines of what I'm doing already that I could try out, something like that, fine, why not? I don't want suggestions for go and buy these very expensive thingamies, because I don't have any money anymore. So I'm trying to cut down on that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's more sort of working with things I've already got, different techniques, things like that.
Yep.
Doing more sort of you could make this instead of going out and buying this expensive thing, that kind of stuff. That I love that kind of thing. I'm always looking for things like that. I love it. And well, if anybody knows of a way to, now what was it I was trying to do? There's something I was trying to do. The way to revive an ink pad. This particular ink pad I wanted to revive is called Tuzineko Stays On Pigment Pad, and the color is peacock feathers. It's not a distress one, so it's not Tim Holtz. It's a stays-on pigment pad, but
Yeah.
it's got no. I tried putting a little bit of alcohol on it, and that did actually let me get some color out, because before that I wasn't getting any color out of it at all. You know, I would go like that and I would get nothing, not even the faintest trace. But a little bit of alcohol did let me get a little bit of color out, but not enough to put on a stamp and get a proper stamp, you see. In fact, I think it was on this one here. This one, it was sort of not really all there.
Yeah.
And possibly that one. I tried that one twice. But it is a very similar color to this color, or this color, or this color. So that's teal from the other Stays On range, the ordinary one, the ink with the alcohol ink one. And it does say on it that it's solvent. It has solvent in it. But I don't know what sort of ink pad it is, because some people say you can use glycerin on a water-based pigment pad, but I'm not absolutely convinced that that's a water-based ink pad. I'm not. Where it says solvent, it doesn't say anything about oil-based, so I don't know whether I exactly what I should be doing. I don't. It's a fairly new pad, but I just don't think it was very well sealed. That particular design of box. So I mean, this one, you know, I can hold that and the lid is not coming off. I have to actually hold the bottom to get it off. It's got some way of staying there, and it's fine. And I also normally keep these in a Ziploc plastic bag. Anyway, I've got a large one that they all go in. I'm going to have to put some in a different one because I've got so many now. But the other one, I'll get it out. It's down here.
So
behind me.
So is there a technique to like test it? Well, what I'm thinking of is like dauber some on a piece of glass and then
That's
it with water and see how it moves. Would that be
it? I can't get much out of it. It is so difficult to get any color out of it at all. Let me find it. It's in my box here somewhere.
Okay, Diane says there is a distress stamp pad refresher available. That was hard to say.
Yeah, but this is not distress ink.
Ah.
I said it's not the distress ink. It's got the same name as a distress ink, but as you can see, it's stays on pigment, opaque solvent ink. So I don't know. That.
I'll have to look and see if I have any stays on. I
haven't used it much because when I got it, it was quite dry then. And of course, the longer I've had it, the drier and drier it's gotten to. I just couldn't get any colour out of it at all. So, not the best. Let's see if there's still any colour in it. Let's try the back of this. See if we can get anything out of it. No, nothing. See what I mean? Nothing. Faintest little bit there. One of these corners I put some alcohol in. But it hasn't made a lot of difference. You can see what I mean. I mean, it's full of pigment, but I'm not getting much out of it. So I didn't want to spend £14 something, and that's without the postage, on a replacement re-inker, because there's only one place that does it, and the particular place on Amazon, the particular seller on Amazon, I've had problems with before. I've ordered something from them, and they've sent me 3 times a completely different thing. And I've had such a hassle getting my money back, and you've also got to wait about 3 weeks for it to turn up because it's coming from America. So, no, I don't want to buy off them at all if I can help it. So I've been looking at getting another pad, but it's look at it. It's not a very well sealed pad. See what I mean? So no wonder it dries out.
Yeah. So from Anne, you might want to ask Kim Polton. She can figure out how to fix, upcycle, extend nearly anything. And then there are She said, "Did you throw away the clear plastic thing that comes inside the white
There
lid?"
wasn't one. There never was one.
There you go.
Not in this one. It's the only one of these I've got, and it never had a little pad and little cover. The others do. You know, these ones do, and I always keep those. Yes, but that's also a solvent ink pad. But this is the pigment one. So, what difference is there? I mean, would the teal blue do that? It's similar color when you put it on a bit of paper. Very similar color. Where's that bit I put in the corner? You can't really see with it like that.
Yeah.
But
Anne said she would contact Stays On directly. And that's
I cannot remember when I had it. They'll ask me how long have I had it, and I can't remember. It's that long. But if I get a bit of isopropyl alcohol,
yeah. And someone posted that
right in that corner,
they alternate between a re-inker and the denatured alcohol, and that reactivates it for them. So that does help.
it does produce something. But I sprayed the whole thing, and I couldn't get enough on there to. I sprayed it quite a bit to get a stamp on there and get a print. As you can see when I tried it on here, it was just not great. So I wondered if there was something. I mean, I'd put glycerin on it if that would work, but I don't want to put glycerin on it if it's going to ruin the pad when it was a fairly new pad when I got it, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of
glycerin is what you want to put on that.
No, I'm not convinced. I don't know for sure. I did ask Lindsay Weirich, because she does a lot of make your own this, that, and the other. So I thought she might know, but unfortunately she didn't have any of these, so she didn't know.
Yeah.
So that was a shame. But yeah, is there an email address for Kim Poulton? Is she in Makers?
She's
How do I
on,
contact?
she's on YouTube. I know she is.
Make a note of her name to remind me of it, because I shall forget by the end. I know I will. So I'm going to put some colour in this. Let's do that before we do anything else. We've had a little play with some bits. We know that we can do these ideas, and those are going to work out rather nice, I think. Don't know if I'll use both on that, but nice ideas. I think that would be better on another page, and I also wanted to use it on a different thing, didn't I? That other pagey bagey. This. I wanted to use it on this. See how, oh, that's going to be lovely. Look at that. Isn't that going to be nice?
I like it. Yeah.
I think it's going to look great on there. I love those. I knew that was going to work out.
Yep.
And I can do a similar thing with this as I've done with that, doing around the edges if I want to, but I'm not sure if I want to yet. I'll think about that one. So we'll put that away, and we'll get some colour on this. So we'll use some.
You were cutting out the one of the signatures a little while ago. You cut off that white edging.
Yeah.
I was watching you do that, looking at that, going, "Ooh, that would look great with a deckled edge."
Yeah, that would. In fact, we could do that with this one. I've got some deckled edge scissors.
Yeah.
Might work nicely.
Oh, absolutely. But that one, look at the design on it is all.
I don't think it would work with this because there's tissue here, and it's quite difficult to get an absolutely perfect edge of glue on tissue. So if I tried that with deckled scissors, it would chomp it a bit, I think, especially as I've got tissue on both sides.
Yeah.
But it would probably work really well on something like that, just a piece of card. Yeah. And I can do something on the other side as well. Goody, goody, goody. Let's get a nice little brush. What have we got here? Good-o. Well, that's another one we can use. I love that one. Yes, that. So I want to use a bit of this. I'll probably end up cutting this, turning it into a.
Okay, Mariah's got to go get Izzy. Okay, back to school. There you go.
That's what I'm thinking. just doing a little bit of this, and I might do some with the purple as well. Have we got a purple? Have we got a purple? We've
I'm
probably
trying
got
to
seven.
remember, Fran, what did we make those out of?
Hmm?
What did
These?
Yeah.
Well, I made them out of a, I think it was a Crafters Workshop mold, and I made them with light and fluffy.
Light and
Hey,
fluffy.
lad.
Eddie, just so you know, you have one that's white. I sent it to you, I'm sure, because Trish says she doesn't have it. So yours is still white. I didn't paint it or anything. So Fran has painted hers already, and now she's painting more. So I'd like to see what Eddie
Giving it another coat, you know, so I wanted to do. I wanted to keep in with this theme, so I want to have some of these sort of colours on it.
Yeah.
So little bits here and there, just a bit.
Oh,
Doesn't have
great.
to be.
So, like, do not stress of showing us what you do, but I can't wait to see what you do.
Huh?
Well, I sent Eddie one like this, and I want to see.
Oh, yeah. See what different interpretation he puts on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, don't do it today. I'm saying don't do it today, but when you do it, I'm excited to. I'm looking forward to it.
Little point, because it's raised, you can use it on the gel plate.
Ooh,
I've done it. I've done
I
it
should
before.
send him too.
Now this is Dina Wakely acrylic paint. I've not used it very much. I've got a few of these, but I really haven't used them much at all. I should have, but I haven't.
And see, I know you can also take your ink pad and just go over the top and
Yeah, and use it like a stamp. Yeah.
yeah. Well, no. I mean,
Exactly.
run ink pad over the top of those embossing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then use it like a stamp, or just to have to put the color on if that's what you want to do. If you use a stays-on type or an archival ink pad, then you can just put the ink on there. You can get a print of it, but you'll still have some ink left on there, and if you let it dry, you've got color on the raised surfaces.
Yeah.
I like this little spout. It means you're not using too much, because I've also got a very small paintbrush as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where I put the rest of these, because I got quite a few of those, and I have no idea where I put them all. I put some.
I'd take the cap off and be dipping.
There's a sour apple. I could use a bit of that.
Oh
That
yeah.
would our colour scheme a bit, wouldn't it? Come on, let's have a little bit out. Come on, come on. There we go. Lovely.
La la la. Hum if you can. La 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 la.
Just little bits here and there. They don't have to be a lot.
Quite a bit of ephemera to go with this journal. I'm enjoying this. I love your bits and
But
pieces.
that's something I've often forgotten about and not done. I've just done a cover and made some pages to go with it, and that's about it. So it's kind of nice to do some of the pieces that are going to go inside.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it everywhere, but we do want it all over. So there's nothing in this corner at all. So we'll put a bit up here as well. A bit more.
When you get a second, hold it up close to the camera. I can see not that.
Sorry.
Not that.
Well, I sometimes forget to do that as well. So
No, you do it on purpose. You and Russ. He'd be like, "Well, you didn't say what."
well, Ian did that to me. He said, I have to get Chris or Mark or somebody to Jason to sign for my timesheet, sign my timesheet because Mark is away. And I'm like, no, I have to get Mark to sign it because, get Jason to sign it because Mark is away. And I'm going, it. Now, what could it be? It. I'll give up. Tell me, what's it? It was his time. So, yeah, he does that to me all the time.
No, Russ has done that to me, and it's like he's had the whole, almost all the conversation in his head except for that one line, and I'm supposed to know what was in his head.
The thing is, and I said this to Ian, you know what Ian said to me? He said, you do that to me as well.
No. No.
Really, darling? I'm sorry. So I've got it. I haven't got it everywhere, but I've got it in some nice areas there.
Okay, hold it up
So
close
let's
so I can see better.
Okay.
That's what I want to see. And tilted it here and there. Yeah, see, now I can see what you did there. Oh,
You
yeah.
see the blue.
So what's the base coat paint?
Ocean. It's Dina Wakley Media acrylic paint Ocean, but it's acrylic is the point. Any acrylic would do. Like I'm going to use this Deco Art Sour Apple. So I'll give it a bit of a shake first to be sure. So if I use a little bit of that.
So what is the silvery base coat that you put down? Is that acrylic?
It's just silver acrylic, yeah.
Okay.
Just painted it all over with silver.
Yeah.
One of
that
them,
really makes it pop.
I have no idea which silver, and it doesn't really matter as long as it covers it and gives you the type of silver you want, or brass or gold or copper or whatever you want to put on there. Anything. You could do it in rust if you have a rust themed thing. In fact, I could do that for the other one. Do some of it for the other one. There we go. We've got some in the lid. Lovely.
Anne says, on the comment answering discussion, on the discussion we had about that, Fran isn't running a business, so I am just grateful that she spends the time to share her talent. And like I said, we love the comments. But like David Gray said, please forgive us if we don't.
I try to answer the ones that are asking me questions.
The questions.
I try to remember to go there and look at them. And
Yeah.
sometimes I just don't. I'm sorry. I do it eventually.
Reminder, but she doesn't always. She doesn't always listen to me. She doesn't. She really
I haven't got a great memory, you know. So if she says, don't forget to go and do the comments, I fully intend to do so. And then something happens. I'm talking to a solicitor about something, or I'm talking to a builder about something, and it just goes completely out of my head.
And
then one day I think, I wonder what's on the comments. Go and have a look at the comments, and there's yards of them. And another day I go and have a look, and there's one. And I'm going, oh, okay. So I answer the one, I say something, I say hello or whatever. I do try to. I really do.
And then I have to remind you that I reminded you, but it is what it is.
That's the trouble with bad memories, that they need lots of prodding.
Well, here's the thing I think about it, especially when it comes to you, that you don't have to remember those things. You need to do art. I need you to do art.
And I think sometimes I rely on you too much to tell me to go and look at the comments.
That could be because you need to do art too, whatever it is. But you make me happy when you do art. It pleases me.
Good.
So
I'm quite happy with it sometimes too.
I was speaking of. I do. Yes, I was listening to him while I was spraying this weekend. He was the perfect music to listen to. So I'm leaving. I mean, I hope that I will be able to leave some of these areas silver as well, because they wouldn't all have some. But I'm not putting these colours in the middle, so I might put a bit of the purple in the middle. I know it doesn't really go with your theme, but it's just going to make me crazy if I don't see any copper. I'm sorry. You're going to have to live with that. This is not a copper day. I know. Don't worry, I'll probably put a bit of copper in the grunge one, so we'll probably get some copper going in this one. Oh, good. I feel better. You can relax now.
I think one more little bit over here, and I think that's about enough of that. Don't want to overdo any of them too much.
Well, there was a maestro I was listening to while I was spraying, but I kind of, oh, I wish I knew. I'm sure I can't pronounce his name. Let's see if I can find it.
It's not a transparent, so we will open the top.
Andre Roux.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know who I'm talking about? Andre Roux?
I think I've heard of him, but I'm not absolutely sure.
Apple, we don't. We live across the ocean. She lives in the UK, and I live in Wisconsin, USA. So we're not even close to each other. Oh gosh, if we lived next door to each other, or even within a few hours, oh my gosh, we'd never be separated. I would be her conjoined twin. I would be like a backpack stuck to her. Tiziano Ferro. Well, like I said, I started out listening to Andre Roux, and I'm sorry, I'm ruining his name. And I learned of him from he played the Anthony Hopkins did a composition, and he played it for him. And I'm like, I listened to it, and I fell in love with him after that. So I followed him. I'll have to find this other guy that Eddie mentioned.
Not sure I'm convinced about that.
Yeah, it's kind of stark there, isn't it? It's right in there. Oh, now when you blur it out, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, that's a bit better, doesn't it? I've got the paintbrush in my teeth. Yeah, sorry. Paintbrush in my teeth.
I got it.
I'll still do that, but I'll rub some of it out as well.
Yeah, Diane, Fran is in a business, and she appreciates all the comments and the subbies and everybody that comes and watches and helps her grow her channel. But the thing is, the most important thing is that she gets to play. And
yeah, that's the thing.
She gets to play with me, and we get to share with you.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to makers, or when it comes to PM Artist Studio, I'm going to be the first one in line to tell you, get over there, leave a comment, give them thumbs up, do everything you can to help grow the channel. They have been so supportive of us, and Fran, and yeah, Karma.
Let's sell my stencils, for goodness sake. So nobody else is doing that. Nobody else offered to do that. So, yeah.
I think you were the first one, too.
I was, wasn't I? I was so astonished.
Yep, the first designer on the list. And it has grown beautifully since then.
Yeah.
I'm liking this. Dauber it just in that middle one you just did. Dauber it a little bit. I like it where you dauber it back.
This one?
The one below it. Yeah, that one too. Okay, that one too. Get your tissue in. Hi, Darcy. Yeah. We appreciate it. We know you have a busy life too. Yeah, there you go. What do you think? Kind of fussy it up a bit. Make it dirty.
Yeah.
Let's get dirty, Fran.
Yeah.
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you.
In fact, I'm thinking that might be enough. We don't want to overdo it. We can always come back and put more on, but it's kind of hard to take things off. So we'll stop there with that.
Bring it up to the camera again.
Well, just let me wash this first.
No, you gotta do what I say when I say it. No.
Well, sorry. Okay, I'm getting there. Ta-da! Now then, you can see that there is green on there.
Really changed it, didn't it?
It gave it a different vibe, didn't it? And I've left some of the grey in there as well, so I might go in and add a little bit more blue and do the same Dorbring and do the same with the green, but I'm quite happy at the moment with that. I think that's
It's
pretty good. And I'm amazed that I've managed to be what's the word I want? Restrained. I'm not normally a restrained type.
No, you're fairly heavy-handed.
Let's add more. Let's put more. But I like that restrained look. That's going to go great, I think. I'm thinking it might go on the cover, or it might go somewhere inside. I might use all of it. I might use a piece. The thing is, when I do use a piece, I find that I've got this lovely thing to use in other things later. So that might well turn out to be what I'll do.
There you go. So I got to say, hi, Darcy, and hi, Darcy's husband. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Hi, Darcy. Hi, Darcy's husband. So let's get these out the way. So they're not going to get coloured. Put these away.
You are almost 2 hours in, woman. You are on a beautiful roll today.
I just want to have a go at this other thing, just for a mo. So I'm just going to move these out the way so they're not going to get coloured either.
Oh, Mike. His name is Mike. Well, hi, Mike. Mike says hi back.
Mike. Right. So move those just there. Just
we'll have an entree of Darcy with a side of Mike. Here we go. Gonna spritz. Oh, I like that color. Oh.
What? You all right?
Yeah, there's a bee in here.
There is?
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah, I don't. It's yeah. Okay, we're gonna get dangerous here.
Get him?
Boy, he's big.
Did you get it?
He might be a good guy, and I feel bad that I smushed him.
It's a bee, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Be
Well, it might not be a bee. It might be a
wasp.
C, D, E, or F. Oh, but he wanted to attack me. We've already been stung. We don't want to be stung anymore.
Thought it was a fly flying around.
No, that's some kind of a.
Could be a hornet.
Well, you know what he is?
What?
Dead.
That bee is a dead bee.
That's what he is right there. He's on camera, Fran.
Let me go. Oh, that's a wasp.
I mean, he's a half-inch.
Pencil next to him.
Put a what?
Pencil next to him.
Well, I don't have to. This will measure it right there. He's a half-inch all curled up. See? Oh, hold still.
Just put a pencil next to him, please, or paintbrush, anything. Yeah, I think that's a wasp. That's not a hornet. It's not big enough to be a hornet.
No.
That's a wasp. That's a wasp. It's not a bee. It's all right. You haven't killed a bee.
I don't want to kill bees, so.
No. This year.
Yeah, but I was stung a while back and don't want to do it again. But he flew right in front of my face between me and the screen. It's like, nope, nobody gets in between me and my monitor. Wasp. Mike says it's a wasp. I believe you.
I believe you too.
We're safe. We're safe.
Good job.
We didn't harm any bees. No honey will be lost because of this. All right, what did I miss?
Nothing much. I've just been spraying me doodah.
Yeah, and you need to move your doodah to the right because the camera went off.
Oh.
Yeah, I am marked safe from the wasp. He was scary.
This one does not.
Uh-oh. It's okay, everybody. She'll be back. She bumped.
Did I bring that in?
You went out
Shaded.
for a second, Fran. You.
Oh, did I? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I hope your internet is.
Some of the, yeah, so do I. I'm using some of the Distress Oxide because the Shaded Lilac spray stain seemed almost to be resisting the gesso. So,
Oh. And you know what? That's going to take 3 days to dry.
very likely.
Yeah. So leave it on that sheet of paper when you move it too.
But I've got a nice pattern on there now. Yay! That'll be another piece to use. Yeah, I got it everywhere. Right, I think we're done because I'm getting to a point when I need to go and soak my hands in some.
Okay, hold on. I'll come back. Let me get this dead bug off my. I will be right back. Here we come. Here we are. Fran will fix the camera. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm not going to make it a long goodbye. We just really appreciate you all, and it's been fun today.
Yep.
And go check PMR Studio, and go watch Darcy, and go watch Eddie, and go watch Carrie. Yeah, and you know what? Someone who doesn't show up here, but I've been like watching her a lot lately is Patty Tolly Parrish. I just love her.
Yep, I love Patty Tolly Parrish. I got one of hers in my watch later ones. It's one about I've seen before actually a long time ago, but it's watercolor, salt, and various other things like that. I think alcohol as well. So, yeah, she has a fun time making some lovely things with that on watercolor paper, I think, or possibly on something like Tyvek or mineral paper. I can't remember. Something like that. But I'm going to go and watch it again and have another look at it because it's really nice to watch. Okay, guys, we are done. We are finishing. And we will see you again next time. Now, next time I'll be doing a bit more on this one. And I was thinking to stop all the alliteration because I'm running out of words. And I was going to put a bit more description in the title. This is Violet's idea, so we'll see how that works.
Whatever.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. We'll say bye-bye now.
Wait. Will we be streaming Friday?
I hope so.
Okay. So if we don't see you Wednesday is still iffy. It may be a pop-up. We'll see what Fran's got in mind.
Maybe a little something.
Yeah.
On another
back Friday. And as usual, I will post in Makers and on my own page. So see you then. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Let's put it there because it's quick, this one. It's quick and nice to watch. Here we go. Now.